I often feel that the only way to make people value you is you gotta be so good. They want you, and therefore they have to treat you right. It's not ideal. I think we should have enough ethics that just treat with blood. But in a financially motivated world, I think that's sometimes our only power. You just gotta make yourself as good as you can. Hi Ashton, I'm Yu Beng. I am 60 years old. I'm primarily an actor, popularly known from TV and film, but actually I come from the theatre. Pursuing theatre for most of my life, still working on it now. I act, I direct, I write, fight choreographer, and carpenter, and all sorts of nonsense. Tell me about it.
I'm 11 years old this year. I like to sing, dance, act, and as a hobby, I like to play badminton and bowling. I've actually acted as your son in 20 days, like a few years ago.
20 days! Okay, I had to think what that was, a TV show. Yes. Oh my gosh! You acted as my son.
Yeah, like the flashback.
You were how old?
About like 3 years old,
Well, you've grown.
but still insane.
Yeah, once you shave your hair, nobody can tell your age. Trick to learn for about 50 years from now, okay, for you. So you've been acting since then.
I started my first advertisement at about like 18 months.
Okay, so that's way ahead of me. I guess for me, the first times were maybe like doing pantomimes, maybe 10 years old. But 18 months is not by choice. 18 months means mommy put you there, right?
So it's like those Java ads and like.
Yeah. Do you remember a time when you chose to do it?
My brother started like also very young, so I was inspired by him and I tried that. I was thinking that it's very fun, so I decided to continue it.
Wow, so it's kind of in the family.
Yeah.
And it's just very natural for you guys to do that. Oh, it certainly wasn't like that in my time.
Since you've been an actor since Singapore was so young, what was it like watching Singapore grow up when you were becoming famous of TV and movies?
I think that a lot has changed. A lot has changed. And I did watch how many things change. It would have been impossible in my time for a family to have two sons just naturally, comfortably went into performing, and it was just so accepted and done with joy and with talents in real life. That's a beautiful thing that we've come to a stage where that's possible. When I decided to go away and study theatre, I was still a teenager, and it was kind of like, oh, your son is going to what? Oh, so I think it was very surprising. And I think that society has broadened and thankfully become a little bit more inclusive. And I think that we are starting to understand that we need space for every kind of person. What's it like for you, having made a choice so young to do what you do and what you love doing?
I will always think about like, what was it like being in the past, and like I'm always amazed about like how anybody from like zero background can be like doing anything.
I don't think that all of us could just pop into that. I think you can start with zero background.
Yeah.
Everybody starts with zero background, honest. And then you do this up. I think the greatest change is also surpass. Not so much just change around us, but kind of like the change in ourselves. I'm not the same, and you are already not the same as where you started. How did you know? What was the feeling that made you go, yeah, me like this?
I always watch my brother like acting, and I see him like very happy. I wanted to try it. Then once I started, like it became a hobby.
Okay, what's your next project?
The pantomime and walk rise.
Oh, Wild West Pantomime, yes.
At Tourist Club. I'm looking forward. A lot of the adult cast are like very friendly.
And they're all so smart. I love doing stuff with Wild West.
Since you've won so many awards and it's been a huge release, when people around the world watch you act, what do you want them to think about Singapore?
I usually don't approach it from that point of view because I just want to do a good job. But I do think about how I want people to think about it. So for example, I try to put it into all my contracts that I want to be called Lim Yu Beng. Because the way I see it, if we know how to say all of their names, why can't they learn how to say our names? And that's part of me trying to shape how people see us. That, oh, there is a place called Singapore. And, oh, their names are like this. It's not just a homogenized view, but there is detail and accuracy to the picture that's painted.
What inspires you to like continue and pursuing your dreams?
Couple of things. One is that I'm always not quite satisfied. That might be a good or bad thing. I always feel like I want to get better. Actually, when I look at you and I think, my goodness, this guy is already like doing all this. Oh, I better do better. But also, when I look at our scene, like the Singapore scene, and we've come a long way. I want us to be better at this way or is be better at that way. And very often the onus falls on ourselves to be better. Particularly in performing arts, very often don't have welfare or rights. In other countries, you have things like unions and stuff like that, right? But here we don't. And so in the absence of something like that to fight for our rights, I often feel that the only way to make people value you is you gotta be so good. They want you, and therefore they have to treat you right. It's not ideal. I think we should have enough ethics that just treat people right. But in a financially motivated world, I think that's sometimes our only power. You just gotta make yourself as good as you can. You know, more to your point, I think that I love the art, and I feel that honestly, it helps us to be better at living life. I understand life through the arts. It helps me to be a better person in this life. So how do you do it? You're 11 years old, you act, you sing, you dance, you're in the panto, and you do these ad hoc commercials and TV roles. How do you juggle all that?
I set aside time for schoolwork first. It's my main priority first. After that, it's just my hobbies because I enjoy it.
Yeah.
So even though it's like hard sometimes, I still have to push on and I can't give up. So that's why I always tell myself.
So there's a lot of character in that.
My parents always support me and my brother also. So
You get to do it all because you push yourself, you demand something of yourself, and you satisfy yourself and sit down. That's great. You know, it reminds me a little bit of my daughter who also 27 years old, just a full-time actor. And since she was a kid, we always would tell her, well, you want it? Yes. Okay, you go and make it work. If to do it means you don't stay, okay. If you're willing to do that, we do. If you're not willing to do it, then you know that's what you're about to do. But you decide, and once you decide, you gotta pay with your effort. And I look at you and I'm like, wow, you want it and you do it. So that's fantastic. Well done.
I heard you made an album called Note Self.
Yes, I did.
If you could write a song about Singapore's future for kids like me, what would it say?
Oh my gosh. So I actually have on the album a song written to my 9-year-old self. And it's actually called Note to Self, Note to Young Self. I look at you and I feel like you have beautiful security, which comes from a loving family, supportive environment, and an environment outside also that is quite different from what I grew up or what I saw outside. But my song, Note to Young Self, is about the kid who feels too much. Because I see the world the way I see the world, everything about it affects me, and I think a lot about things. I get very affected by wars and injustice, and I just get very affected. And in my time, people look at me like, what is that? You know, this kid, oversensitive. You know, today we would say emo, and I don't like the way because it implies this normally the feeling. I think it's key to feel, and it's important to feel. It keeps you human. But you strike me as someone who's got that balance really, well mapped out. You're in touch with your interests, and you're that you can achieve a lot of stuff just by being responsible and doing your homework. So I don't think I have a something, but I don't think you. It's kind of beginning now. What do you hope it's gonna be like?
I hope like young people in need can start making their own like musical stars.
Are you doing that right now?
I mean, I hope I can.
Wow. I mean, because you could be the one to make it happen. You write songs?
Yeah.
So if you write songs, you already making it happen, right?
Because those songs are an expression of like you feel. And if you are writing those songs, you could put together a musical. So actually, young people like you, it actually means you. It means you. So you could do it. You could do it.
I also hope that I should inspire other people to start theater, filming, acting, and everything.
Well, you're inspiring me, I'll tell you that.
I think you will. I think you will. I know for everybody, okay? When they watch a show and they see somebody on stage, there's a part of us, whether we know it or not, that goes, wow, that could be me. Or that's kind of a representation of me. So by being there, you are doing that. You are affecting the flow of Singapore's artistic journey right now.
Whenever like I'm doing a pantomime with all my friends in rehearsals like almost every single day, and we create a bond. And every time after the show, you get very emotional and like tear. Building a bond like keeps me wanting to perform my pantomimes.
And it makes us human, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you are building up your heart. You're making a heart bigger. Every time you do that, we heart bigger. It's beautiful. What a great conversation. I'm not kidding. I'm inspired by you. So I'm going to be watching you. Okay.
Me too.
Thanks for talking to me. Thanks for giving me a perspective at 60. Great to meet you. Yes.